Oh, why, hello there. What do you want here? Oh, what's that you say? You want to hear a Christmas story? Well, let me find a good one for you. Let's see, Frosty the Snowman. That's too mainstream. Rudolph. I think that's overrated. Let me see. Oh, now this is a good Christmas story. An APLAC Christmas. Once upon a time, in the quaint town of Fishers, Indiana, there was a young boy named Brett O'Rick. Now, Brett O'Rick was a simple boy with a simple heart. The only thing he wanted in life was to get a 9. What's that you say? You want to know what a 9 is? Well, starting in the year 1980, the children of Fishers, Indiana celebrated Christmas by writing persuasive letters to Santa. They had to use the 3 appeals, proper diction and syntax, and a Toolman model, all while keeping in mind the rhetorical triangle. They even came up with a name for their tradition, APLAC, Persuasive Letter at Christmas. A 9 was the greatest honor a child could receive. It meant that their letter was not only effective, but also exceeded the expectations for being effective. Every child wanted a 9, especially Brett. However, he had never received one. In fact, he had never even gotten close. His highest score was a 5+, which, according to Santa, is not even adequate. Every year, he shot for the stars, but he ended up nowhere. Eventually, the other children began to make fun of him for getting such low scores. At that point, he began to lose hope. One winter day, he was sitting in class like always, thinking about the persuasive letter. Little did he know, though, that his entire life was about to take a drastic change.
Oh yes, I always get 9s. I'm immensely adroit at scribing persuasive missives.
Me too. And I plan to continue my streak of excellent letters this year. My acuity for writing persuasive is not to be surpassed.
Indeed. Well, we can both agree that he's no savant.
Yes, he has the persuasive acuity of a butter knife.
Hey, stop it!
What's the matter? Are we being too esoteric for you?
Yeah, are we being too abstruse?
That doesn't even make sense. You're literally saying nothing.
How dare you insult our voluminous vocabulary, you insolent little fop!
Yes, how dare you?
I'm sorry.
I think we need to give this one a lesson in proper diction.
What does that even mean?
We're gonna give you a sound thrashing.
Hello?
Who goes there?
I'm Brett. Brett O'Rick. Who are you?
I once knew the answer to that question, but now I'm not so sure. The children call me the Grillmaster.
Wait, you're the Grillmaster?
Why do you look so scared? Oh, I see. You've heard the rumors. You've heard that I'm a bitter old man who hates all life. You've heard that I'm spiteful and wretched. You've heard that I am evil.
Well, yes. Yes, I have.
None of it's true. Well, except for maybe the spiteful part. You see, years ago, I used to be an English teacher at the school. But then, one day, I burned my face in a horrific grilling accident. I eventually recovered, but my face was still hideous, and the administration told me I would no longer be able to work. They claimed that it was because my students scored poorly on exams, but I knew the real reason. So, they fired me. But I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave my beloved Portugal. I've lived here ever since. Unwanted, unloved, and spiteful. What I miss the most, though, are my students. They never fail to brighten my day.
I'll be your student.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'll let you teach me. Do you know about basic rhetoric and persuasion?
Rhetoric? Persuasion? Of course, those are my main areas of expertise. What exactly do you need help with?
Well, do you know about the persuasive letters to Santa?
Yes?
I've never gotten more than a 5+.
Well, then we have some work to do.
You'll help me?
I'd be glad to have a student again. And so, for the next 2 weeks, the Grillmaster taught Brett everything there is to know about rhetoric. The rhetorical triangle is all might. Its sides consist of purpose, persona, and audience. Each side depends on the other. If we take only one away, the rhetorical triangle will collapse, and your persuasiveness will not be as effective.
I get it now!
The Toolman part, diction and syntax, the 3 appeals, all of them are guided by the holy rhetorical triangle. Now, in order to learn to write a good persuasive letter, you need to write about other people's use of persuasion. Here.
Who's John Down?
Just write the essay. Well, your essay was decent. It did some things very well, but it did have some major errors. I gave it a 5.
Another 5?
Now, don't get too John down. Everyone struggles their first essay. I am certain that you will improve over time. Brett, I love water more than anything else. And if I don't have any right now, I'll be so despondent. Can I please have some?
Yeah, sure.
That, Brett, was pathos, one of the 3 appeals. It is an appeal to emotion in order to persuade the audience. Oh, now Brett, I'm extremely hungry right now. I think I'll starve if I don't have some food. Can I have some of your lunch?
Sure.
That, Brett, was logos, using logic in order to persuade someone. I was starving, so therefore I needed food to survive. Now, Brett, I see you have $25 there. Now, I'm a renowned English teacher, and I think I deserve that much money for giving you all of these lessons on rhetoric, so can I have that?
If you really want it, I guess.
Now, Brett, that was the final appeal. Ethos, which is basically credibility to persuade someone. Now, Brett, with the 3 appeals, you should be able to successfully persuade Santa in your letter. Here, write another essay about the rhetorical strategies used.
Mississippi River? What the heck is that?
Now, Brett, you got a 6 on this last essay. You had some good analysis, but your main problem was your diction was just too pretentious. You fop.
That's the second time in 2 weeks I've been called that.
With diction and syntax, you should mostly speak plainly, every once in a while sprinkling in a Latinate word, but if you speak pretentiously the entire time, your audience will just feel alienated from you, unless your audience is a bunch of pretentious fops. And also, your syntax was just boring. You need to vary the sentence structure, complex, compound complex, and even a couple simples in there. If you just use the same thing over and over, your audience will once again feel bored. Now, in your persuasive letter to Santa, I recommend that you use plain diction and varied sentence structure. It will go a long way in persuading them. Now, Brett, I know your persuasive letter to Santa is today, and there's one last thing that I'd like to teach you. The Toolman motto. Now, Brett, in your persuasive letter to Santa, you must have a claim, and you must also have evidence for that claim. Now, this evidence must have a warrant to it, and the warrant must also have backing. Now, the backing usually does not have anything to do with the claim because it is more broad. Now, you must also prepare for a rebuttal to your claim. Now, with that rebuttal in mind, you must qualify your original claim with a qualifier. Now, Brett, I know that you will do well in this persuasive letter today. But even if you don't, know that you still have the power of rhetoric within you.
Thank you, Mr. Wait, who are you really?
I was once a man named Paul Kennedy. But now, only the Grillmaster remains.
Well, you're Mr. Kennedy to me. Thanks, Mr. Kennedy.
Thanks, Mr. Kennedy.
Thanks, Mr. Kennedy.
He's gone.
After the Grillmaster left, Brett was despondent. He couldn't begin to understand why his best friend in the entire world had left.
Alright class, today we're going to be factoring polynomials. What's wrong?
What's the use?
All of this changed one day when Brett finally received his letters home.
But right now I have.
This isn't about nines. This isn't about grades. This is about rhetoric. The almighty rhetorical triangle. Now let's take this moment and all stand together. You know, they say they clap loud when you get an 8. They clap louder when you get a 9. But they clap the loudest when you fall. But today, no one is falling. When little Johnny comes home and cries because he got a 2, we will stand together and we will become better riders. Now come on, tonight, we become one with the rhetorical triangle.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so, Brett learned the true meaning of APLAC. It isn't about numbers like 9s, 8s, 5 pluses. It's about rhetoric and the power of the rhetorical triangle. Now, wasn't that a good story? All right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.